Hi everyone! Do you want to know a job that's really great? You might even say it's out of this world. Being an astronaut. Astronauts are people who travel and work in space. Going to space seems like a big adventure. But that's not why astronauts go to space. They go to learn what's beyond our planet. They spend weeks or even a year away from family to learn. Then they come back to share all the knowledge they've gained. Do you want to go to space? Let's find out what it takes to be an astronaut. Practically anyone can become an astronaut, study science, spend time doing the science that you study, and finally, go through a physical checkup. Because living in space when you're floating around in low gravity in a crowded space can be hard on your body. So we want to make sure you're healthy enough to do it. There are lots of important jobs. One job is the pilots, who get the space shuttle to where it needs to go safely and make sure it gets back to Earth safely. Mission specialists work with the spacecraft to make sure it's working. Another job for mission specialists are experiments, such as how to grow zucchini to see how to grow veggies in space. Another job is to help launch satellites, which are machines that fly in orbit around Earth that can take pictures of Earth or help us know what the weather is going to be like. Some jobs require the astronauts to suit up and go outside the spacecraft when they need to fix or build something on the outside of it. There's no air in space and it's really cold, so they wear a special suit to protect them. Plus, they have a cord tied to them so they don't float away. Sounds hard, but you get to see our planet from outer space, do experiments, and even go for spacewalks. So what do you think? Do you want to be an astronaut? I have a special guest to introduce, Ray and Reese Rashba's grandfather, Lee Williams, who works with astronaut Andy Allen at Aerodyne, which is an aerospace engineering and information technology services firm. Here, he is suited up to launch in the Space Shuttle Endeavour. But is he really an astronaut? No, but he plays a big role in the space industry. Let's hear what he has to say.
Hello, boys and girls. Andy and I started a company called Aerodyne Industries a few years ago. We have almost 500 people that work in the space industry. Every one of us studied in school, did our homework, and now do many fun jobs for our country's space exploration programs. We do many things, including helping launch rockets and satellites, studying ways to grow food in space, finding ways to live and work on other planets, and building new computer systems that make our astronauts safer and more efficient. It's a super fun life we live where we can use all of our skills we learned in school.
Are you ready to hear from a real astronaut who currently works with Lee Williams? Please welcome Andy Allen.
Program. Roger, roll, Atlantis.
Former astronaut Andy Allen hurtled into orbit aboard Space Shuttle Atlantis. Or is it?
Hotlantis. The nickname was Hotlantis because it was the speed demon, it was the high payload, lightweight vehicle.
He says each shuttle has its own personality. Atlantis is the ride everyone wanted.
It was a good machine. It had the fewest amount of anomalies at the time. I mean, I was really thrilled to be on Atlantis, and the fact that Atlantis is staying at Kennedy Space Center is wonderful. It's fun.
Allen's Safety Harbor home holds flight plans, photos, and hefty shuttle hardware. Many mementos from his 3 shuttle flights.
Allen about to flare up the orbiter's nose.
That includes one he commanded and landed in 1996.
Main gear touchdown.
I used to just tell my crew all the time when I was a commander, I said, your job is to make sure I don't look bad on CNN. And they'd all turn right back around, and your job is to make sure we all come home.
And now, let's hear a question from one of our space kids.
What is your favorite space food?
Be eating rehydrated hamburger patties or seasoning them with something NASA calls a pepper dispenser assembly. But back on Earth, your family is in their regular kitchen. Wonder when Daddy's going to be home for dinner.
And our final question from another space kid.
Was it scary traveling to space?
Worst feeling is when you say goodbye to your kids. The daughters were 10 and 6, and they were pretty emotional. Apollo 13 had just come out.
For the Allen family, anxiety during launch turned into good old family fun once he was flying.
Talking to my daughters from space. I have a video from space, so I'm linking down so they can see me. And for 18 of the 22 minutes, it's me saying, all right, stop it. Quit arguing. Listen, I'm 10,000 miles away from you on the other side of the earth, but you got to quit arguing so I can talk to you. One of you at a time. Jessica, it's your turn to talk. Ask your question. The kids will just pull you right back into real life.
Andy Allen and all his fellow astronauts will tell you, even in space, where the sun rises and sets every 45 minutes, aboard a flying machine with more than 2 million parts, we are all human.
Andy no longer flies to space, but he still loves being a pilot. Here he is showing Ray and Reese around his new jet. Who's ready to watch an actual space launch? Get ready to blast off! Wow, what an awesome universe! Do you want to be an astronaut or someone who works in the space industry? What an amazing journey it would be.